Greetings, beautiful beings, and welcome to the Breathing Bar. I'm Ahuvia, your bartender today and every day. And I want to thank you for coming to our Fall Equinox Bring It to the Table series. And this season, we're just bringing everything to the table that really is on us on a weekly basis, on a daily basis. Because at the end of the day, anything that we're really feeling strongly about, it's going to be there a minute. And when you bring it to the table, you get your tea, you get your kombucha, you get your chai, whatever it is that relaxes you. And you begin to navigate it, whether you're a journalist or you journal, whether you use a pendulum, whether you just kind of go into meditation. However you bring it to the table, every day it needs to be a conscious decision now. Letting stuff just build up and say, okay, in 6 months, when I have a break or when I go on vacation, I'll deal with it. No, because each moment you're taking precious time from your joy and your happiness. And that's not cool. That's not cool anymore. It's time for you just to be light. Because life with humanity and living while human, it's not the easiest way to navigate in this earth realm. Because we have a level of consciousness and can pick up and have an intuitiveness and a discernment that catches so much. In one day, walking from your house going to the car, you could pick up 10, 15 different things, whether it's a radio blaring, whether it's the television. I'm using all these old terms, radio, television. Whether it's Siri talking or whether it's a streaming service you have, there's always a sound that's trying to penetrate. A sound that really isn't calibrated to your frequency. We have these airwaves where sounds and frequencies are going around, and you have to be in a space of being able to control and shift. I always now begin to shift because I don't know how to control certain things just yet. And I find myself a lot shifting. The more I mature, it seems like my shifting becomes much more intense and much more frequent. The body, after years of being bombarded, a lot of times gets stiff. And it's stiff you could be moving every day, but it's an energetic stiffness because you have allowed yourself to be consumed by certain energies when you weren't aware. And over the years, that's built up in your energetic system, your cells, your bones. And now you're like, okay, I have to figure out how to address this now because it's affecting my quality of life. And it can be anything that's affecting your quality of life that you didn't experience before. And I see this at this point because of the lifestyle and because of technology. I see this now happening in, unfortunately, junior high school students where because of the lifestyle, my age group lived, we didn't have all this. So we were moving a lot. We were running outside. We spent most of our time in movement. And so now I find myself teaching these young people different movements they can do to begin to release and help them understand what their body is as energy. So bringing it to the table today is anytime there is an intense feeling. I had an intense situation and it's on my mind. And it doesn't just release overnight or maybe in a week. But what I've learned to do is I do my qigong, I do my kundalini, I do those things that I know shift my energy in the moment. But I do it intentionally in a conscious way, and I bring that to the table when I'm doing it. I don't just let me just move a minute and let me see how I feel. No, it's like, okay, I'm bringing this to the table because this triggered me. Anything that happens outside of you is just a trigger for something that's already in you that you haven't found your balance with. And so I bring it, and now, as I'm going in such a powerful, intentional way, I find myself shifting that energy so as less of an intense reaction in my body and my mind. It still sucks, yeah. but I'm shifting the energy so I don't have to have that as a trigger in days, weeks to come. An acknowledgement, but not a trigger. A remembrance, but not a trigger. So what do you do when it's time to shift your energy? And I'm saying if you have to bring it to the table every time you come home, and bringing it to the table doesn't mean come home, turn on Netflix, or come home. Bringing it to the table means, okay, after you've done your Netflix, after you've kind of got home and got settled, what do I need to bring to the table today? What am I working with? Every day I bring the nonprofit I work to the table. And I'm always shifting how I respond to it. My norm is be like, I'm out, I'm quitting, because that's what I do when it comes to things I don't want to do at a certain point. I don't do it right away. But I'm like, no, because I actually love what I do. I love teaching children sustainability and how to grow food. I just don't like the nonprofit I'm working with. And that's just my personal. So how do I balance the two? So every day I'm bringing things to the table. And I realize it's not about the nonprofit because the nonprofit's done nothing. It's what it is. I just don't like how working for this nonprofit makes me feel, in all honesty. Has nothing more. No one said anything. Everybody's been wonderful. It's just the control of time, the control of creative energy doesn't always sit right with me. And I guess nonprofits are like nonprofit corporations. You know, they have a bottom line that they have to meet because of the funding. So at the end of the day, I had to just really assess how I wanted to navigate everything. So think about what you're doing. Think about something in your life in an everyday way that you have to shift energy with. Now, many times the shifting of the energy does not have to be anything that just makes you pissed off, because I'm not annoyed or pissed off in that way. But it's annoyance that humanity can't be more balanced and more integral with how they deal with each other, how we deal with each other. There's an equanimity that I desire to see. You know, that's why many times I've worked outside of corporate structure on farms and sustainable realities, because I see much more of a balance places I've been, let me say it that way. But when you get back more into the urban grind of the city, culture, government, there's not an equanimity. And of course, we're in a capitalist society, and that's a challenge for me. I travel the road less traveled, so it can be very challenging spending lots of time in the inner reality of an inner city or urban reality. But it's something I chose for the moment for a reason, and I embrace it because in all this discomfort I'm talking about, I'm expanding my consciousness because I'm willing to be in it and work through it versus just allowing it to just bother me, because I'm the one that's being bothered, so it's something in me that's the issue. And that's the thing about bringing it to the table. It's always you that's the issue. But it's still important to understand what in the situation are you reacting to or being triggered by, so that you can go deeper within yourself. And that's what shifting energy, movement allows you to do. So what movements do you do to assist you in that moment of the thought to shift? The more you shift that energy, the more you move through that energy, you actually change its entire structure. And that frequency rises, begins to dissipate, the intensity lets go. So it gets to the point eventually that when you think about that same thing, you don't have the energetic reaction and your body doesn't respond as it did maybe a month ago. So what do you do to shift energy in that moment? When you bring it to the table, how do you begin your process of resolution and recalibration of a thought or of an energy that is too intense for your mental makeup, that is not comfortable for you? We have to be able to disarm our discomfort. period. You have to be able to disarm your discomfort. Nothing outside of you can do that. So with that, beautiful beings, I'm going to continue to navigate and disarm my discomfort every day, every thought. And I admonish you to do the same. Bring it to the table. Spirit will tell you what to do. Your higher self, your intuitiveness will tell you what to do when you bring it to the table. You just have to listen and be diligent. So we will talk soon. You all have a beautiful moment wherever you are. Give thanks.